All right, guys. So I wanted to make this quick video, and I know it's gonna avoid title. I think it's so funny. Like, what a boomer type thing to do, to use Microsoft Word to make a title page. The videos playing in the background to make a title page off of Microsoft Word and to share it as like to make the background or whatever. It's ridiculous, but um, I wanted to make this video quick because I get to thinking about it, and I get to thinking about when I first started the job. It's so many years ago, but what do I remember? I mean, I remember everything. I remember my first day. I remember the people I was with. I remember. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I remember the whole thing, right? And time flies. I'm realizing that a lot now. Um, but 13 years ago. I mean, 2008, 2009. And I remember the struggles that I had. And the biggest struggle that I probably had was believing in myself in the job, loving myself in the job. And so that's what I put down as a title for this, because that's something I think goes missing a lot, right? Why do people start this job? What possesses people to join up with this company to do a job like this, where admittedly in the interview process, in the new hire process and training, people can struggle. It can be painstaking for some people to deal with people that have never done it before. Um, all that. So what would possess people to get into a job like this, and how do you maintain a balance that makes you successful and happy in a job like this? And the first step to that, the first thing that you have to do when you join a job like this, is you have to have a goal pattern set out for yourself. What do I want to accomplish? What is my ultimate goal with this company? Everybody joins the job. Sorry, gross stuff. Everybody joins the job for a similar reason, right? And it's, I want to make a career path change. I want to find a place to grow. I want to find a fit for me. I don't want to be in a warehouse anymore. I don't want to be in a restaurant industry anymore. I don't want to be wherever anymore. Okay. That's why people join the job, and they join with a mindset of, I need to grow. I need to, learn a new skill. Right. But it gets lost pretty quickly for some people. You start on the road, you get on the road, you're dealing with customers, and reality sets in. It's like, wow, I just get yelled at by somebody. Wow, I just had to, somebody should not interest me 6 times. I didn't know what to do. It's a hustle, it's a struggle, whatever. And so really quickly, those goals can get lost for some people. And so having dignified, exact, a mindset. I look back, I think back to, when Devin, for example, joined our company last year. He knew what he wanted going into the job. And so he had this friend who, his father worked for our company and was a sales rep, and he liked his lifestyle. He saw what that guy had. He saw what that guy did and how much he loved his job. And he said, I want that. Something, it tells me that that's the lifestyle that I want. And so when he joined the company, he joined knowing that that would be his fast track, knowing that if he went a different route to get to that place, that it would take him a couple of years at least if he ever got into it. And so he took that fast track, he got on, and he never got off, right? There was one point in like February, where maybe March, where he was questioning his ability to grow. Not because he was questioning his abilities, but because he was questioning whether or not he was going to be able to make his mark and start in sales when he wanted to. And I remember, we told him, we said, dude, you can't worry about that right now. That's not something that you can be concerned about, because I'll tell you, if that's where your head is at, you're never going to make it. And being the I don't call him intelligent. I don't want to give him that compliment, right? I mean, this is a dude that asked me how to spell plane, like not an airplane, like plain cheeseburger, right? Like he asked me how to say it. He told me, is it Plane? So sorry, Devin, watching this didn't make fun of you, but it's ridiculous. So, but he's really is a smart guy. He gets it. He understands what the mission is, and so he said, you know what? Yeah, I got to get back on task, and he got right on task and started doing really, really well. Back right away. Again, best in the department, one of the best in the department. Him, same thing with Brian Zimmerman too. They never like lost sight of their goals. And that's because they had real goals. They had a figure right in front of them. They knew what they wanted. And so the first step in this, guys, is that the feeling of comfortability has to come from inside, right? Whenever I started in high school, okay, 20 years ago at this point, whenever I started in high school, I felt like deep in the pit of me a feeling that I could not be myself, that I could not express myself, that I could not, I just couldn't, I had to be somebody else. And so all throughout high school, I adapted and tried to fit into this crowd, and my music interest changed, and how I felt about dealing with people changed, and all this internal agony and depression and anxiety just came up, and it was vomit worthy. The way that I felt was disgusting. And you know what? I found solace in drugs, a significant amount of drugs, dude. That was it. That was the only thing that made me happy, was not being myself. That was all. I I could not live with the burden of being myself. I didn't want to be Paul Duffy. I wanted to be something else. And so I acted like something else. I was a tough guy and I wanted to get into fights and I wanted to be, and all the gang shit, all this stupid stuff was way more important than being myself. And so I put that ahead of everything. And I fell face first into a world that no one wants. And I loved every second. Every second that I did not have to be myself felt good. And that's depressing. And I fell down this rabbit hole, and it was fun when it was fun, and it was terrible when it was terrible, and I lost a lot of people in many different ways, and I almost lost myself too. And this company really helped to pull me back. And obviously, you got to do it for yourself. For some people, it's God. For some people, it's themselves, or it's spirit, or it's many different things. But at some point, I remember being in Philadelphia. Madonna, Like a Prayer, came on, and I remember dancing to it. And how you can tell someone is comfortable with themselves when they're willing to dance in public, right? That's why Andrew's very comfortable with himself. So I start dancing to it. I'm in the the room with all my guys, all my people, whatever. And they're all like, "This guy's a fucking weirdo, man. This guy is bizarre." But I felt comfortable. I felt fine. I felt happy with myself. I felt confident. And that confidence made me so much better at my job, so much better at my job, because I did not care. I didn't wake up every day and go to bed every night wanting to be somebody else. I did not care what people thought about me. I felt a level of comfortability. In this job, you have to feel a level of comfortability. You have to be comfortable with who you are in order to be truly good at this job. Okay, so there's two things so far. So let's just type this out real quick. Okay, so you have set honest and reasonable goals. Grow, dude. Oh man, I sorry, I was just, I get angry very easily, dude. So you got to be reasonable with yourself, dude. It doesn't work out that way where you start at a company and you go and make $4 million a year 6 months in. Okay, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but like the average promotion comes in 3 years. 3 years. Okay. So when you join a job that's 14 an hour plus commission, the average person's making probably about 25 to 30 an hour. Some people are making more than that, some people a little bit less than that, but the average person somewhere in between there. That's what you're signing up for. So do the damn job. Do it well. If you want to make more money, the benefit of this job, we say this to every person that starts, the benefit of this job is you have the ability to almost instantly change your income. You have the ability to do that. You're the only one that has the ability to do that. And so if you go out there and get one more demo, it's worth that much more. 2 more demos, it's worth that much more. And so you benefit from this ability that you have that most people don't have to grow their income instantly, right? And every hour that you put in extra equals out to so much more, right? Like if the average person that makes, $11 an hour, or $14 an hour, or whatever, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, if they put in an extra hour overtime, they get paid, time and a half, whatever. if you put in an extra hour overtime, then you get paid time and a half plus commission. Your commission makes your time and a half go up more because that's based on your average, right? And so all of this boom, 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 boom falls into place in just a different way, right? So it's very different. And most jobs are not like that. So that this job really gives you the ability to be able to grow yourself, your skill set, your income, all of that stuff, right? So give yourself reasonable goals to grow. So start off simple, right? So for example, my goal is to make, I need to make enough to sustain. My goal is to make 25 plus dollars per hour, right? So that make that your first goal, let's say, all right? Your second goal should be is to grow your income potential by, let's say, getting into the top, 5, let's say, of canvassers, right? So I want to be in top 5 in the department. Let me make this list a little bit smaller as far as verbiage goes. Okay. So now you've grown your position, you've shown your ability to stay consistent, and that's a good third goal. Consistency. Be consistent, right? So I want to, by what I consider consistent is I'm never under 20 per hour, but striving for 30 per hour. And what this enables you to do is, you're building a consistent pay, and that's healthy to be able to plan your life, right? So if I'm living off of 20 an hour, okay, but I'm making constantly more than that, then I'm showing my abilities. I'm showing my abilities to be able to grow my income and stuff like that. So that's the benefit of the consistency, right? But not put. Okay. And so create that consistency. So make these goals your first goals. Okay. Stay consistent, so on and so forth. Now, here's where people screw up. They make their goals, okay, whether they write them down or not. You should write them down, but whether they do or not. And then month 3, they end up screwing up and not hitting their goals. And then they think that they deserve a position in management or sales because they didn't hit their goals. And it's all of a sudden the job's fault, the company's fault, because they didn't grow. And it's just stupid, man. It's a kid mentality. That's what it is. It's childish mentality. And so you can carry that childish mentality, but we got no place for it. We got no time for it, my friends. So carry it somewhere else, right? That's the way that it works. So, if you have this mentality of I'm going to develop myself first and focus on myself, and I'm going to take the blame, and I'm going to take the responsibility if I do well. It ain't his fault if I do well, it's my fault. It ain't his fault if I do poorly, it's my fault. And so when you're able to do that, that will benefit you greatly. You will, thank me to knowing that you created that, for yourself, because you're going to have a lot of benefits and responsibility. You're going to grow a significant amount. Okay. So be honest and set reasonable goals. Be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. Okay. We talked about that already, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that, but who are you when no one is looking? Unless you are a sicko, then get out of here. Right? I'm kidding, right? But yeah, be yourself when no one else is looking, right? Be who you are when no one else is looking. Unless you're a weirdo, then get the hell out of here. So you got to be that. You got to be comfortable. You have to be, because the customer feeds off of that, confidence, which is a key word in this job. You have to have a certain level of confidence. Okay. This is something that I've yet to achieve, I think, but you need a real work-life balance. Your spouse or kids are not your excuse. Now, what I mean by that, just to be clear, is I'm not saying that you can't. No, I'm saying create a work-life balance. Okay. So just to be clear on that, I don't mean, oh, don't be with your kids. That's not an excuse. What I mean by that is that you see people a lot of times where they come into the job and they're like, okay, this is great, cool, fantastic, I'm good. And then as soon as they start doing poorly, they blame it on their spouse. They blame it on their kids. They go, oh, it's just so crazy at home. It's just so hectic. I cannot do well. And so don't do that, man. That's screwed up to do to your kids. Never mind your workplace. It's screwed up to blame your spouse for that. No, 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 no. You create the work-life balance. You create that, okay? And a real work-life balance means that work is a part of that. It's not just life, 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 life. And, I work because I have to. Create a real work-life balance, right? Create a schedule for yourself. Organize yourself. Organize your goals, okay? Cover yourself in that way, all right? And then finally, the last one that I'll give you guys for the night anyways is be in love with yourself. In a non-weird, I always spell weird wrong, way. And obviously I'm kidding about that, but you got to love yourself, dude. You have to love yourself first. It's very important in a job like this. You cannot, and we all struggle with this, dude. I struggle with this. Everybody struggles with this. Well, not everybody. It's definitely not everybody. There's plenty of you guys I know that have no problem being in love with yourselves, right? And it's funny because you're all probably pointing at each other right now, thinking about this if you're watching this, this video. So, but I think everybody to an extent struggles with this. I struggle with it with growing up, right? Like I feel like I'm 20, but I'm not 20. I feel like I want to be back in high school, but I'm not in high school. I feel like I wish I started this job yesterday, but I didn't start it yesterday. And so it's tough sometimes to look at the decisions that you made and in work and savings and whatever, and it's tough to find the confidence sometimes, but it's there. You're not going to go anywhere without loving yourself. If you need to reach out to help to somebody, if you need to hire a professional, talk to somebody, whatever you need, but you have to care about yourself. You have to take care of yourself in order to do well in a job like this. When I first started, everybody smoked, right? And even in our office, most people smoked. And I feel like every month you see less and less people outside smoking. Less and less of our staff smokes, cigarettes and whatnot. It's a great feeling. It's a great thing to see. I feel like we just got a bunch of people in the office that decided to go back to the gym and stuff like that. I decided to, start working on myself again. And the beauty of that, it's not January 1st. It's not New Year's resolutions or whatever, right? You have to work on yourself. You have to, right? Like right now, for example, it is 11:49. And instead of getting into bed right now, I am sitting here on video talking to you guys. Not a great work-life balance, not really taking care of myself. So I'm going to get off this video now, but I appreciate you guys. And I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form.